This is my absolute favorite build. It requires basically no attacking. You just run in a circle and everything dies behind you. It is hilarious how fast you can farm with this build. Before I break down the Paragon, the legendary gems, the essences and all that, I'm going to break down just the core of the build. That we're using Sprint, we're using Wrath of the Berserker, Furious Charge, and Whirlwind. Furious Charge is just to get to locations sooner. Whirlwind's to help damage anything in case we don't have enough damage. And then Sprint and Wrath of the Berserker are the core of what's just killing everything around us. Now, effectively what we're doing is we're using the Wrath of the Berserker to generate crit, and then we're using the Sprint in order to generate a Firestorm automatically behind us. You see, we have two essences, one that leaves a fire and one that leaves a tornado behind us, combining to create a Firestorm no matter where we go. Well, if you look at the damage actually associated with Firestorm, it's quite good. It can kill whole packs of standard mobs, no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this legendary real quick. I have swapped over to Hell 7 and we're gonna test it again and hopefully have less people. Here we go, chewing through some Hell 7 minions, kind of same strategy, just leaving the burning behind, just running past. Looks like we have one other player here, but here's a good example. Just as you're running, you can see by the time they actually get to you, they're basically just about dead. They end up dying. So because of that, what that means is you can just continue the run and not worry about the minions that are chasing behind you. This right here is a great example of why I really like this build, is because the Sprint does enough damage that even, like, these are blue mobs, right? So these are blue mobs behind us. So let's say you're just running, you're running your lap. It has enough damage that even the blue mobs will get killed if you've got the build all correctly. So let's break down my build and what it took for me to get to that point. Now, because this build is all based around Sprint as well as Whirlwind, we're going to be using that combination. So the helmet's going to do the Spirit Breaker, which is going to leave tornadoes in the path of Sprint. This is going to combine with the Burning Shoulders that are going to leave a trail of flames dealing damage in our Sprint as well. Meaning just by having Sprint on, we're automatically triggering Firestorm behind us everywhere we go. Now, we pair these with the combination of, for instance, I use the Whirlwind, but there's different ones you can use for this. The Whirlwind main hand to make the Whirlwind radius bigger, but then Whirlwind also occasionally throws out tornadoes as well. This is again another Firestorm proc, and we use Whirlwind to kind of clean up in between our kills. Now we use Furious Charge Dash in order to move quicker while we're doing this, and then we use the critical hit chance from Wrath of the Berserker in order to nuke down mobs quicker. Now, because we're using Sprint and it's so dictated by Sprint, we do want to have the Vithus, at least the 2-piece, in order to increase the duration of beneficial effects. I also go with attack speed as it increases how fast our Whirlwind is going to proc. So that's the 4-piece Vithus with the 2-piece of the Grace of Flagellate, increasing our continual damage and channel damage and ground damage. All of which is the Whirlwind, the Tornado Firestorm type of stuff, the Burning Ground, all of that there will be continual damage, channel damage, or persistent ground damage. You can also instead replace the 4-piece Vithus for a 4-piece Grace set with only a 2-piece Vithus in order to get the 4-piece bonus, which will give you more additional damage on the damage over time thing. So you hit them 5 times with things like Sprint, the Flaming Burn, etc. You get now the 4-piece, which can help you as well. Now, there's tons of gems that work for this. One of the 1-star gems that works the best is the Blessed Pebble. I actually removed my Howler's Call just to replace this with the Blessed Pebble. The reason is it gives you beneficial effect increase, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but also movement speed. Both of these are going to help because all you have to do is run in a circle as fast as possible, and then beneficial effect is so good, and I have it actually on as many pieces as I possibly can. If you look here, beneficial effect duration, etc., because it increases the length of your sprint time as well as the Wrath of the Berserker and your Undying in PvP. It also has an infinite cap, meaning you can stack it with things like Vithus Urges and really get a long duration of buffs. The more pay-to-win gems that work are anything that gives you damage movement speed like Blood-Soaked Jade, Bottled Hope, but also Seeping Bio is probably the best gem overall for this build because your Trail of Fire can trigger the Seeping Bio, which is a large portion of the damage that can happen over time when you're running ahead of minions and they're getting killed behind. I like Zwinsen's. I think it's underrated because it's just one of the cheapest gems, but it also will have this giant AoE that goes and can kill minions for you. So basically you're looking to min-max your damage as much as you possibly can. Maybe not chip the stone flesh as much, but I don't have a million great options. This is just what I happen to have on me. But 100% Seeping Bio and Blessed Pebble would be my 2, followed up by like Blood-Soaked Jade and Bottled Hope. I really like the duelist tree with this because you stack up your, your deadly or your bloodthirst, I should say, and then the static discharge goes off and can do a big chunk of damage as you go to a new pack of minions. And I like things that help you eliminate the pack like the second you get to it, or at least give you chunks of damage so that way the bleed behind you can work. But you could also do things like massacre, and you could use this if you really want to just increase your kill streaks and make it as easy as possible. There's an argument to be made for any of these, but honestly, the one I'm sleeping on the most is Treasure Hunter. I probably need to do a video just talking about this, but increasing your equipment drop rate for elite monsters in outdoor areas is actually pretty important, because one of the most difficult things in the game at the moment is getting enough blacksmith dust upgrades to be able to upgrade your blacksmith like all the way. That's what people are getting capped on, and with the new materials, etc., it might be worth it just to sit on Treasure Hunter for both the gold, the experience, as well as the additional treasure find for scrap, etc. But if you're actually looking for a damage answer, Duelist, the new one, actually seems pretty good. So put together all properly, it should look something like this. You just run around in a circle, and the guys behind you just slowly die, and they kind of kill themselves. Plus your Paragon tree, the Duelist proc happens just there, and you can see that's sort of what it looks like. Then you just put sprint on again, and you keep running. So you just run in a circle and have everything die as you're running. Couple things about the build. It's definitely not for dungeons, definitely not for PvP. This is specifically targeted at farming as quickly as you can in like a circle type of farm. So if you're just running around the map and doing stuff, it's not going to be as good as if you're going like, okay, I'm going to go right here and farm in a circle over and over and over again. It works so good because when you are circle farming, you're going back around to pick up your loot that you got on the other circle. So if you're actually just going somewhere and you're running through the map randomly doing this, it's not as efficient because your drops are leaving behind you. So what you actually want to do is go find whatever circle it is you want to farm, like my favorite one here, or go farm on Frozen Tundra or wherever it is that you really like to farm, and go run in that circle, because that is absolutely where this is the best optimized. And a lot of these other builds don't necessarily get better and better and better with players, but if you join groups, it actually gets better and better and better with people, because what you end up doing is you're just aggroing all the minions and getting them kind of to go behind you in a line, and people that are running up behind you can just one-shot whatever's left of their HP behind you. I've noticed that when I'm in a group with this build in particular, we have some pretty insane speed run farm type of timing here. Shout out to someone here in the group as well, another person that farms a lot. So it kind of gives you an idea of this build here. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think of it. Look at this. We got another orange array. 3 oranges just during the creation of this video, so I guess we are lucky today. And that's where your whirlwind's for, and that's where your dash and etc. is for when you get like the higher HP type of minions. And just like that, we got ourselves a legendary. I think that's a great way to end the video. Love you all. Consider liking or subscribing for more guide, class, barbarian, and other type of videos. We're going to be switching classes here pretty soon. But for me today, that's going to be this video. See you on the next one.